Alright, so here is a recording I wanted to do, which was like several days ago. Talk about that one incident at the ATM machine in New Kingston, where I had this conversation between the mad woman and the guy, the licensed firearm holder. Yeah, I've been busy with other stuff, so I never got a chance to do that particular video. But what's interesting, like when I saw this, that crazy lady looks familiar. I think I had encountered her a while back. Like she was like relentless in pursuing, and I had to kind of stand my ground, tell her to back off. And after me consider stand my ground, she just left me alone. But I think it's the same woman. I would not be surprised it's the same lady I dealt with a while back. So when I saw it, I said, yeah, this lady does, this lady again. No, in this case, though, from what I saw, and things I waited a while before I said anything is because it turns out that she confronted this guy who was at ATM machine New Kingston several days ago, and she was backing off, and then he pulled a firearm, and for some reason, some person was across the street was videotaping this, and it came up with this narrative where this guy was a villain, like said, okay, this big guy is like backing up from this woman who's half his size, and he pulls a gun on her when she's seemingly unarmed, and sure enough, the media ran with it, and it led to those jackasses in FLA suspending his license and putting him in investigation. Now, what was I did not like about that is the fact that they automatically made this guy the villain. One is the fact that this woman, if it's the same woman, and I'm guessing that she is, has a history of harassing people. Alright, I mean, like they're not saying that this woman who's clearly unhinged was not the threat, it was a victim, and this guy decided, you know what, I'm just going to be this Bluto like character from a Popeye and just flexing this woman, pull a gun on her. Yeah, without plausible reason. No, I'm glad I waited till politics so I said it, because there's a part in the audio, because this guy has connections and links, and when he gives information, it's verified. It said there's a part where the woman said she had acid in her bag and was just trying to throw it on him, which is what would have prompted him to pull the firearm. Alright. So that's the part that they left out, but they made it look like the firearm holder was this big bully that had the gall to pull a firearm on this crazy lady who was harassing him. And you have to remember the fact that as we've dealt with her, know that she's unhinged. Being fortunate in my case, she didn't do anything to me. She didn't threaten me in that way, but there's a chance that she's been known to do some stuff where she does just to get attention. So she might have been desperate enough to make this kind of threat, whether it was genuine or it was an empty threat. We don't know. And he didn't know that. This chance it's the first time he's encountered her. So he wouldn't be familiar with her. He just know, hey, this crazy lady won't leave me alone. And there's a history where some very crazy people have attacked and harmed civilians. So I don't want to be one of those victims. So yeah, I better have my firearm on me. No, the thing about this, I should say, is that if the people had gotten the whole story and I had just made it look like this guy's a villain, they would have realized, here's the thing though, is that there's an unwritten rule in Jamaica that civilians are not allowed to protect themselves. Like criminals, deviants, and other lunatics are allowed more human rights than Jamaican civilians, because Jamaican civilians are not to have rights. Like whenever we get victimized, we get the short end of the stick, and we have to accept it and just shut up. That's the narrative some of these dirtbags, the people who filmed that video and the people who are just trying to make this guy look like the villain, were running with. Because if they filmed this, they would have heard that part where she threatened him. But hey, but again, when they want to have this narrative where they make up who them as the hero and the villain, the whole truth does not matter. And that's the thing I can't understand, because my thing is that the people who filmed this, they should be scrutinized and they should actually be facing reprimand for getting this guy into trouble, and the people at the FLA, some of them need to be fired. Because, yeah, and like I said, people who've dealt with FLA know that there's some people in that organization that do some very funny style stuff. And those people should are more there just to eat the food rather than actually do any type of use productive services for the people who want to purchase firearms. I'm just saying though, it's just like I want, like I said, like when I saw this video, yeah, I think I know that lady personally, but I just think that my thing is that she needs to be off the streets before she harms somebody, or she harms herself, or somebody harms her. But then again, when it comes to Jamaica's benign neglect policy, yeah, we don't really do anything until it reaches crisis proportions. That when this lady runs up on someone of prominence importance, then whoever is in charge is supposed to will then do something. But till then, yeah, as long as they're terrorizing people that society does not care about, yeah, we're just going to sit on our hands. And that bullshit needs to stop, though. Like, we need to have this policy where we actually get proactive rather than reactive. But I just really hope that this video just has it where they put this lady in a mental health facility before she's becomes a danger to somebody else, and at least most of all herself. And that's why I put it. And they need to, and the people at FLA need to just give this guy's license back and leave him alone, okay? Because what they're saying is that Jamaican civilians cannot defend themselves. Like when criminals and other crazy people and other people attack you, yeah, we care more about the criminals and these other people than their victims. And again, that narrative needs to stop. There needs to be a pushback on it. And all the people who are going on that narrative need to be called out. They're the villains, instead of more the villains than what they're trying to make that firearm older to be. So, and that's all I have to say. This is for State of Jamaica and the Caribbean. Check out my other YouTube pages, Miles Gus and Farron, Miles Productions, Real Thoughts and Miles. All right.